Hey YouTube, Axel here back again with another video. In today's video, we have something that might help a few people out to make a game plan. So in this video, we'll be making a foolproof game plan to take you from A to Z. From, hey, I'm a normal guy, I work a 9-to-5 job, or a normal woman, I work a 9-to-5 job, to boom, I'm a full-time trader and fully independent and self-sufficient. All right, so let's close the gap and make the game plan right now. And in order to be doing this, we're gonna need a couple of tools. One of the tools that we are going to be using for this example video is, you guessed it, my EA. So yes, because this is gonna allow us to really cut the time down of how much it takes to really find a working strategy, for the time down that it takes you to pass the challenge. We're cutting that down. Instead of it taking you years in order to really find something that works for you, you can get plugged in with something that has been proven to work right now and is working right now, and that cuts your time in by a gazillion times. Anyways, the second thing we're gonna use is a prop firm. So you can use a prop firm of your choice, my Forex funds, FTMO, the prop trading, E8 funding, True Forex funds. All of these are really A players in the game that have been consistently showing that they're legit, okay? Awesome, so let's start off. Let's paint a scenario. So throughout the last months, I've had thousands and thousands of people that I worked with, and I've been seeing a couple of things. It takes different people, different time frames to really get adjusted to all of this, because I've seen people who purchased my EA and right away, day one, they start profiting, they start going crazy, they start being really consistent since day one. It also matters how much previous trading experience you have as well. And then there's other ones that it takes them a couple of months. It takes them maybe 2-3 months before they really get it. They really figure it out. They're like, okay, now I'm really comfortable. Now I really can excel forward. And then from there on, they become extremely consistent, funded, all of the good stuff. And then there's the last batch of people who never get it. To be completely honest, these batch of people, either they're not putting in the work, they don't really care, they're like, oh man, I just want to click one button and then become a millionaire, which of course, nothing in life works that way. You still have to put the work in, even if you're using tools such as the ones that we offer that really help you cut down the learning curve, you still have to do some work. So let's say that on average, it takes a person 2 months to really get familiar with the EA, with the strategy, and to pass their challenge, okay? Let's keep that in mind. All right, back to our scenario. Normal guy, working 9-to-5, maybe I make $3,000 to $4,000 per month, which is probably what most people make that work full-time, right? Something around there. That's what I used to make. Let's also say that this person has been trading for a little bit, but hasn't been too successful. He had some wins, he had some losses, but can't really find the consistency, at least not enough to really pass their challenges and get funded, etc., etc. So he's there stuck. He's really interested in trading. He loves it, but he's not really good at it yet. Okay, boom, forward. He finds us somehow on YouTube or whatever, buys our EA, gets familiar with it. Let's say it takes him 1 month to demo it out. For the whole month, he's testing it out, different things, different settings, different pairs, demo this, demo that, test this, test that. And then by the end of the month, he's feeling comfortable and he's like, okay, I'm ready. So by the beginning of month 2 now, the guy is ready to take on a real challenge. So this is what we're gonna use. We're gonna leverage prop firms, pass their challenge, and then we're going to get capital out of that. This is extremely important. This is the step that will take you from just being a normal guy to, okay, now I have some money to play with. But that's not where it ends. We don't just get funded and then that's it. The game ends. No. That's just step 2, all right? So let's say beginning of the 2nd month, starts the challenge. Let's say it takes you, let's say you're taking things slow. You're not like going too crazy, whatever. It takes you a good month to pass phase 1 and then like 2 weeks to pass phase 2, okay? So already now we are at 2.5 months. So we passed both phase 1, phase 2. You're somebody that takes it slow. You're not like some crazy expert that can do it in 3 days, whatever. We do have people that do that, by the way, but let's just say that the person that we're talking about here is taking things slow, is conservative, and takes a good 1.5 months to really pass everything. Boom, you're funded. What now? Did you win the game? No. You just started the game. Now you just put your first foot forward in order to really get into the game. But the good thing is that you're in a very good position where you have access to real capital, okay? It's very important. Now, let's say you passed, or this hypothetical guy that we're talking about, passed 100K account, okay? 100,000. He trades for the following month, he trades, and then let's say for the month he did pretty good. He did 10%. He did 10% for the month on the funded accounts. That's $10,000 minus FTMO's profit split, whatever. So let's say he takes home $8,000, which is really, really good. Now, what do you do with this $8,000? Do you go and spend it in parties? Do you go and fuck it off? Do you go and start using it for your expenses? Do you go and quit your job? No. You don't do any of those things. Well, at least this is what I would do, okay? And very similar to what I actually did. I would take that $8,000 and stash it away, or put it in a personal account and not touch it yet. I wouldn't touch it yet. I would just put it in a personal trading account and just keep it there. Don't touch it yet. I would still keep my job, which is taking care of my bills, taking care of my daily expenses or monthly expenses, whatever. And now I have this extra $8,000 for future use to really use it as my main trading account. Okay, now first month, he did 10%, boom. Let's say the second month that he's funded, he doesn't do that well, maybe you do around 5%. Let's do, you do 5%, you do half of what you did, all right? So I'm not sure, 5% and another probably $4,000, right? So now you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 grand. Now you have 12 grand. Okay, again, same thing. You don't want to go and fuck it off. You don't want to go and blow it on dumb stuff. 4 grand is not really a lot of money, but if used wisely, you can use it to actually really quit your job and get into this trading thing full time. So you take that 4,000, boom, put it in the personal account again. Now you have 12,000 sitting down there. Third month that you're funded. Let's say you go and you do 10% again this time. It was a good month for you. You did 10%, you killed it, boom. That's $10,000, FCMO profit split, 8,000. Okay, we have $8,000 extra now that we add to the 12. We have $20,000. We have $20,000 that you made almost risk-free by just passing a prop firm challenge. Okay, this is the area where you actually want to start moving away from prop firm challenges and starting to trade your own capital. If you have around $20,000 that you made strictly from prop firms, this is where you should really start considering moving completely away from prop firms and starting to trade your own capital, because this is enough capital to help you make enough money to actually replace your job. The real advantage that you have when trading capital that is actually yours is that there aren't any rules. So there's no drawdown limits, there's no maximum daily loss, there's none of that. There's only rules that you impose on yourself, on your trading plan, whatever, all right? So because of that, it means you can also risk a bit more and make a bit more. So if you have an EA, we have examples of people making 50, 100, 150, 300% in a single month when they're using it on the live accounts. Now, of course, disclaimer, the drawdown when you're talking about these numbers is way higher than, let's say, a max of 5% when you're really doing a prop firm challenge. The drawdown on these is much higher, but the gains are also very stupid too. It's crazy, 150%, 300%, whatever. And it's not realistic at all. It's not something that I would do long term, but it's something you might consider depending on your risk appetite. But anyways, let's say you're not that crazy. You just want to go for something around 25%. 25% on your 20K account, that's like $4,000 to $5,000. Okay, here you go. Now you just made more than what you made in your job for the $5,000, right? You did it fully independently from prop firms because you used them to get capital, and then you put it into your own account, right? Now you can trade your own rules. Let's say with the EA, you're killing it, you're going crazy, you did 25%, which is pretty good, and now you made $4,500 or something around that. Okay, what do we do now? Do we quit our job? Not yet. I would keep this cycle going for a good 6 months in total, like from start to okay, time to quit. I would keep it good. I would keep it going for a good 6 months to really make sure that you have it dialed in, because you don't want to quit your job when maybe you just got a little bit lucky, or you just had a really good month where you struck gold, but then the rest of the months are really, really bad, and now you're out of a job and now you can't really provide for yourself. So make sure to keep this going for a good 4 to 6 months where you're doing this, keeping your job, but you're doing this. You're making double income, by the way, at this point, and then you're reinvesting into your personal accounts. You do that for a good 6 months. Now you can 100% quit your job with no worries in mind. You won't be stressed out. You already have some money saved up because of all this money that you've been making in trading or whatever. You've been saving it up, putting it to the side. You have more than enough to cover for your monthly expenses. And now at this point, because you grew your personal account, if you make 15 to 20% in a single month using our EA, or maybe your own strategy, but preferably our EA, because it's much easier, it really cuts down the time that, the learning curve that it takes to get these types of crazy gains. But at this point, you're making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, maybe more, depending on how much you were able to save up and to amass during this point, maybe $10,000, $15,000 a month as well. If you really want to cut this down even more, then I would go with an example of doing a 200K account, because at that point you really accelerate stuff. Because if you only do 10%, if you do 10% on your first month funded, that's $20,000 already off the bat. So that puts you in a much better position. But I wanted to do a 100K example because I feel like it's more affordable. A lot of people have $500 to spend on the challenge, and maybe not as many people have $1,000 to throw away right there on the 200K. But hey, if you do and you can do a 200K, then go ahead and do that. Like, skip the 100, do the 200K if you have the disposable income for it. Now remember, any money that you spend on these kinds of things must be money that you're willing to lose. Always, this is investment advice. Whenever you invest into something that is a bit risky like this, make sure that the money you use is money that you're actually willing to lose. Because if it's your last money and you're trying to do this with your last money, I promise you, you will fail, because your psychology will take the best out of you, and you will just lose. Trust me. So don't do it. If you're in that type of position, go back, enhance your skills in life, get a better job, or go do something like sales where it's performance based, or get a promotion in your job and make more money that way instead of going to trading. Because in order to really start trading, you need to have a little bit of capital that you're able to get rid of and not feel anything about it, and maybe lose completely. And yeah, that's just the reality of things. So yeah, I hope this video was useful for you to find a game plan to really take you from, okay, normal guy, 9 to 5, to okay, now I'm a full-time trader, I replaced my job with trading, and I'm on my way to making my first 6-figure year. And we did this by leveraging 2 tools, by leveraging my EA, which you can get by clicking the description below and messaging me on my Telegram. Send me the word PASS, P-A-S-S, and then I'll get in touch with you, find the best solution for you, see if the EA is the right fit for you, and get you started. And the second tool that we used was proprietary firms, which will allow us to get capital because of our trading, and because we passed their challenge. They allow us to get capital, get funded, and get paid out, and then using that money, boom, into a personal account, growing it over time, and then ditching the job. And now, congratulations, you're a full-time trader.